Hello and welcome to Chatting in English. I'm William, and I have a confession. Last Tuesday, at a networking event, I found myself in a conversation that felt like it was approaching the heat death of the universe. This lovely person was explaining in exquisite detail the regulatory compliance issues in the widget manufacturing industry of a small European country I couldn't locate on a map.
And I'm Sarah. We've all been there, William. The internal panic. The glance at the watch that feels criminal. The mental calculation. If I leave now, will they think I'm rude? If I stay, will I miss my chance to talk to the keynote speaker? Or worse, will I actually die here?
I want you to think about something with me. How many times this week have you found yourself in a conversation you desperately wanted to leave, but felt trapped? Your feet are rooted to the floor. Your smile is starting to ache, and inside you're screaming, "I need to go," but the words won't come out.
It's a special kind of modern agony, isn't it? And here's what's fascinating. Research from the University of Michigan's Conversational Analysis Lab shows that the average person spends approximately 17 minutes per day in conversations they wish they could exit but don't know how. That's nearly 2 hours a week, almost 4 full days a year of our lives spent in conversational purgatory.
Let's unpack why this happens. Dr. Eleanor Richards, a sociolinguist at Cambridge, identifies what she calls the politeness paradox. We're taught from childhood not to interrupt, to be considerate listeners, to not hurt people's feelings. These are wonderful values, but they create what she terms conversational entrapment, where our desire to be polite directly conflicts with our need to manage our time, energy, and social commitments.
And there's another layer here: social anxiety. A study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found that 68% of people report moderate to high anxiety, specifically around ending conversations. They're not anxious about starting them. They're anxious about finishing them. Why? Because how you end a conversation leaves the final impression. It's the last note in the social symphony, and if it's discordant, it can overshadow everything that came before.
We need to fundamentally reframe how we think about excuses. The word excuse has baggage. It suggests a falsehood, a deception, something we invent to get out of trouble. But let me propose a new definition for our purposes today. A polite excuse is a socially agreed upon verbal and nonverbal protocol that allows two or more parties to gracefully transition from interaction to separation while preserving relational harmony.
That's beautifully put, William. Think of it this way. Traffic signals aren't lies. Red lights aren't deceiving you. They're social agreements that allow for the safe, orderly flow of traffic. Polite excuses serve the same function for conversational traffic. They signal, "This interaction lane is now closing. Please prepare to merge into separate social spaces."
And this isn't just Western etiquette. Anthropologist Dr. Lila Chen's comparative study of leave-taking rituals across 23 cultures found that every society has developed sophisticated systems for conversation exits. In Japan, it's the series of bows and repeated sayonaras that create a gradual, ritualized exit. In many Mediterranean cultures, it's the extended farewell that might take 20 minutes itself. In Britain, it's the famous "right then," accompanied by a knee slap. What we're learning today is the modern English-speaking professional and social toolkit.
Let me introduce what we'll call the 3 pillars of graceful exits. This is the framework that will structure our entire conversation today. Pillar 1, verbal strategy, the actual words you choose. Pillar 2, vocal delivery, how you say those words. Pillar 3, physical choreography, what your body does while you say them.
And here's the crucial insight from communication research. When these 3 pillars are misaligned, you create what psychologists call interactional dissonance. Your words say, "It was wonderful talking to you," but your tone says, "I'm bored," and your body says, "I'm already gone." The listener's brain detects this mismatch, and trust erodes.
Professor Mark Thompson's work at Stanford's Communication Lab shows that in conversational exits, the weighting breaks down like this. 55% of the message is in physical cues, 38% is in vocal tone, and only 7% is in the actual words. That's why you can have the perfect verbal exit script. But if you deliver it while backing away with wide eyes, you'll still seem rude.
This explains why text messages and emails are so notoriously difficult for sensitive communications. You only have that 7%, the words, without the 93% of tone and body language. That's why exit emails often require more careful crafting than exit conversations.
Before you utter a single exit word, you need to master what jazz musicians call finding the groove, and dancers call finding the rhythm. Every conversation has a natural cadence, and skilled communicators listen for what linguists call transition relevance places, or TRPs.
That's academic speak for natural pauses. But not all pauses are created equal. There are 3 types of conversational pauses that signal potential exit opportunities. First, the topic completion pause, when a subject has been thoroughly discussed and there's that moment of quiet. Second, the affirmation pause, after you've both agreed on something strongly. Third, the laugh pause, the beautiful silence after shared laughter.
Research from the Conversation Analysis Institute shows that attempting to exit during what they call progressive talk, when someone is building a narrative, increases perceived rudeness by 300%. But exiting after what they term retrospective assessment, when you both look back on what was said, decreases perceived rudeness by 65%.
Let's get practical. Your body should start your exit 30 to 45 seconds before your mouth does. This is what we call nonverbal warning shots, subtle signals that prepare the other person's subconscious for your departure.
Signal 1. The foot pivot. This is the most fundamental. Gradually shift your weight to one foot and turn that foot 45 degrees away from the person and toward your intended direction of travel. This is rooted in what kinesics researchers call ventral denial. Your torso remains facing them, showing engagement, but your feet point away, showing intention to move.
Signal 2. The decreasing nod. As they're speaking, if you've been nodding along, gradually decrease the frequency and intensity of your nods. Go from enthusiastic, frequent nods to occasional, gentle ones. This telegraphs that you're moving from active engagement to appreciative listening mode.
Signal 3. The object bridge. If you're holding something, a drink, a notebook, a phone, begin to bring it closer to your body, or if it's on a table, gently touch it. This creates what anthropologists call an object anchor that you can use to physically transition away.
Signal 4. Begin with sustained eye contact. Then gradually introduce what we call soft glances away. Not sudden darting looks, but gentle sweeping gazes toward the exit path. Then returning to their eyes. The ratio should shift from 90% eye contact to 70%, then 50%.
Before you initiate the verbal exit, run this 3-question internal checklist. Question 1. Have I fulfilled the social minimum? Have I asked about their family if they mention them? Have I responded appropriately to their news? Basic social reciprocity should be satisfied.
Question 2. Is there an unresolved emotional thread? If they've shared something vulnerable or emotional, exiting abruptly can feel like abandonment. You may need what therapists call an emotional bookend, a brief acknowledgement and validation before exiting.
Question 3. What's my actual reason? Be honest with yourself. Are you leaving because you're bored, tired, late for something, need to talk to someone else? Your reason will determine which category of excuse you use from our toolkit.
Let's dive into our first and most versatile category, the social obligation exit. This is your go-to for parties, networking events, conferences, and any gathering with multiple people. The psychology here is brilliant. You're not leaving because you don't value them. You're leaving to fulfill another social duty.
The verbal formula has 3 components: appreciation plus social duty plus future connection. Let me give you the gold standard example. Mark, this has been absolutely fascinating, hearing about your work with sustainable architecture. Appreciation. I should go mingle and say hello to a few others before they leave. Social duty. Let's definitely continue this conversation over coffee next week. I'd love to hear about your project in Seattle. Future connection.
Now, let's explode this category with variations. For networking events, Sarah, your insights on digital marketing trends have been incredibly valuable. I need to go connect with the speaker before she leaves, but could I get your card to follow up on the analytics point you mentioned?
For parties where you know the host. This has been such a wonderful conversation, James. I promised Linda I'd help her in the kitchen with the appetizers. Please don't be a stranger. We should have you over for dinner soon.
For conferences or professional gatherings, Dr. Chen, your research methodology is groundbreaking. I need to catch the next session on AI integration, but I'm definitely attending your workshop tomorrow at 2 p.m. Looking forward to continuing this discussion there.
The magic of these phrases is what social linguist Dr. Elena Martinez calls embedded validation. Notice how each excuse begins with specific, genuine appreciation. You're not just saying, "Nice talking to you." You're naming what was valuable. This makes the exit feel like a natural consequence of a good conversation, not an escape from a bad one.
Category B is for your professional life, daytime meetings, and situations where you have actual work to do. This is the most truthful category, and therefore requires the least emotional labor.
The psychology here is about what organizational behavior researchers call legitimate account giving. You're providing a reason that is socially recognized as valid within the professional context. The formula: value statement plus concrete next action plus optional collaboration.
Prime example. This has been extremely productive, team. I'm going to take these action items and start drafting the proposal document now while it's fresh. Maria, could you email me those metrics by end of day so I can incorporate them?
For hallway conversations at work, you've given me a lot to think about regarding the quarterly report. I need to get back to my desk to implement these changes before the 3 p.m. deadline. Thanks for catching me on this.
For ending one-on-one meetings that are running over, I want to be respectful of your time as well. This has been incredibly helpful. I'm going to go apply your feedback to the presentation slides right now. Should we schedule 15 minutes tomorrow to review the updates?
What makes these work is what management theorists call positive urgency. You're not just leaving. You're leaving to act on what was discussed. This transforms the exit from abandonment to implementation.
Category C is what we call the deferential exit, and it might be the most sophisticated tool in your kit. This is when you frame your exit as concern for the other person's time, not your own needs.
The psychology here taps into what's called face work theory in sociolinguistics. You're giving positive face to the other person, showing you value their time and social standing. The formula: appreciation, their time needs, plus optional future.
The classic, well, I won't keep you any longer. I know you have a busy afternoon ahead. Simple, elegant, effective.
For conversations with superiors, I've taken enough of your time with this. Thank you for your invaluable guidance. I'll let you get back to your schedule.
For social situations with someone important, I know you need to circulate and speak with everyone. Thank you for such a meaningful conversation. I won't monopolize you further.
What's powerful about this approach is that it often prompts the other person to reassure you. They'll frequently say, "Oh no, you're not keeping me." But by then, you've already established the exit frame. You can then either stay a bit longer, having been invited, or exit gracefully, having shown deference.
Category D is what we call the family obligation exit, and it's practically bulletproof. When you invoke family, pets, or personal care responsibilities, you tap into what anthropologists call kinship privilege, social understanding that these obligations transcend ordinary social rules.
The psychology is simple. Nobody can reasonably argue with, "I need to feed my children," or "I need to let my dog out." The formula: regret, plus family need, plus future compensation.
Standard version, I'm so sorry to cut this short, but I need to get home to relieve the babysitter. Let's pick this up over lunch next week.
For evening events, this party is wonderful, but I need to get home before my partner thinks I've abandoned them. Let's connect for brunch this weekend to continue this.
For personal care, I've loved every minute of this conversation, but my early morning workout calls. Let's continue this over coffee tomorrow.
Our final category, E, is for when you can be beautifully straightforward, usually with friends, close colleagues, or in low-stakes situations. This exit says, we're secure enough in our relationship that we don't need elaborate rituals.
The psychology here is about relational security. You only use this when you're confident the relationship can handle directness. The formula, affection plus direct statement plus warmth.
Friend version? All right, my dear, I'm going to head out. This was exactly what I needed today. Love you, talk tomorrow.
Colleague version? On that note, I should probably get back to work. Really appreciated this chat. See you at the stand-up at 4.
Now that we have the words, let's talk about music. The music of your voice. Julian Masters found that in exit sequences, speakers who lower their pitch by an average of 12 Hz are perceived as 40% more sincere than those whose pitch remains the same or rises.
Let's break down the vocal delivery second by second. First, the pre-exit breath. Take a gentle, almost imperceptible breath before you begin speaking. This does two things. It oxygenates you for clear speech, and it creates what vocal coaches call intentional pause, a micro moment that signals something important is coming.
Second, the descending melody. English is a stress-timed language, and in exit phrases, you want what's called falling intonation on the key words. Say, I should probably get going. Hear how going falls in pitch? That's conclusive. If you say, I should probably get going with rising pitch, it sounds like you're asking permission.
Third, the tempo modulation. Conversations often have a certain rhythm. As you begin your exit, slow your speech by approximately 15%. This isn't dramatic slowdown, it's subtle. If you've been speaking at 160 words per minute, drop to about 140. This signals transition rather than panic.
Fourth, the dynamic range compression. In audio engineering, compression reduces the difference between loud and soft sounds. In speech, you want to compress your volume range slightly. Don't whisper the exit, but do bring your overall volume down by about 20%. This creates intimacy and signals that this is a personal transition, not a public announcement.
Let's choreograph this like a dance, because that's essentially what it is. We'll call this the 7-second exit sequence.
Second, 0 to 1, initiation. You found your natural pause. You take your pre-exit breath. You begin with your appreciation statement while making full eye contact and a genuine closed-mouth smile, what researchers call a Duchenne smile, one that reaches your eyes.
Second 1 to 3, reason delivery. As you state your reason, I should go mingle. You initiate what's called disengagement gaze. You maintain eye contact for the first half of the sentence. Then execute a slow, deliberate glance in the direction you intend to move. Your head turns slightly, but your torso remains facing them.
Second 3 to 4, future promise. As you deliver your forward-looking statement, let's continue this next week. You perform what kinesics experts call reconnection gaze. Your eyes return to theirs. Simultaneously, you execute what we call the connection gesture. This could be a hand on heart, a gentle touch on the arm, if appropriate, or simply palms opening upward.
Second 4 to 5, the weight shift. This is the mechanical heart of the exit. You smoothly transfer your weight to the foot that's already pivoted 45 degrees away. This is subtle. Your upper body shouldn't lurch. It should feel like a tree bending gently in the wind, not a pole vault.
Second 5 to 6, the final signal. You deliver your closing line, great seeing you, take care, etc., with what's called parting smile, slightly broader than before. Your hands come to what anthropologist Desmond Morris calls the ready position, at your sides if standing, or gathering belongings if seated.
Second 6 to 7, the clean break. You take your first deliberate step away. Here's the crucial part. You must not look back for at least 3 steps. Looking back signals uncertainty, hesitation, or what's called approach avoidance conflict. Your exit should be a clean vector.
Let's give listeners concrete practice methods. First, the mirror drill. Stand before a mirror and practice the 7-second sequence without words first. Watch your body. Then add the words. Film yourself on your phone if possible.
Second, the audio-only drill. Record yourself saying exit phrases in different emotional tones. Annoyed, anxious, warm, confident. Listen back. Train your ear to hear the difference. Research shows that people are surprisingly poor at accurately hearing how they sound without recording.
Third, the object drill. Place an object, a chair, a plant, to represent the other person. Practice your full exit sequence with the object. This builds muscle memory for the physical choreography.
Let's address everyone's nightmare scenario, the monologuer. This person gives no natural pauses, no entry points, no conversational reciprocity. They're a storytelling turbine, and you're trapped in their wind.
The standard advice of wait for a pause doesn't work here, because pauses don't come. So we need specialized tools. Tool 1, the collaborative interrupt. This isn't a rude interruption. It's a co-created transition.
Here's the script. Raise your hand slightly, with a warm, regretful smile. Use their name with what's called falling-rising intonation to signal something important. John, I'm so sorry to jump in here. The name repetition is crucial. It gently captures attention.
Continue with, because what you're saying about reference their exact topic is absolutely fascinating. Validate first, then, and that's exactly why I need to catch you at a better time. I have to run to specific obligation, but I don't want to miss any of this. Could we continue this over coffee tomorrow when I can give you my full attention?
The psychology here is what negotiation experts call yes, then no. You're not rejecting them. You're postponing for quality. You're saying, this is so valuable that it deserves proper attention, which I can't give right now.
In our Zoom era, virtual exits require their own protocol. The problem is the red clock. Everyone can see how long you've been talking, and everyone is wondering who will end it.
Strategy 1, the time frame preview. At the beginning of the call, establish parameters. I've set aside 20 minutes for this, and then I have to jump to my next meeting. This creates what project managers call bounded engagement.
Strategy 2, the visual cue. About 2 minutes before you need to leave, place a hand gently on your chin, or adjust your glasses. On video, this reads as thoughtful transition. Then use the verbal formula. Looking at the time, I want to be respectful of what we both have next.
Strategy 3, the summary exit. Before we go, let me just summarize my takeaways so we're aligned. Brief summary. Perfect. I'll take these action items and get started. Thanks, everyone.
For one-on-one virtual calls, I see our time is just about up. This has been tremendously helpful. I'm going to go implement specific thing discussed right now. Should we schedule a brief follow-up once I've made progress?
Exiting a group conversation has different challenges. You're not just leaving one person. You're leaving a social unit. The key is what sociologists call individualization within collectivity. You're making a personal exit without breaking the group dynamic.
Technique 1, the general announcement. Make eye contact with the person who's speaking. Wait for a slight pause, then broaden your gaze to include everyone. This has been wonderful, everyone. I'm going to go. Specific action. Grab another drink. Say hello to the host. Get some air. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Technique 2, the individual goodbye within group. This is more personal. Lean slightly toward the person you were most engaged with. Sarah, I've so enjoyed our conversation about topic. Then broaden to the group. Everyone, it's been a pleasure. I need to reason. See you all soon.
Technique 3, the buddy system exit. If you came with someone, you can use what event planners call partner signaling. Catch your friend's eye, give a slight nod, then, well, my partner in crime and I need to, joint reason. This has been fantastic. Let's all connect soon.
When the social stakes are higher, with a superior, important client, or VIP, the exit requires additional layers of respect and validation.
The VIP exit formula. Specific appreciation, plus deferential frame, plus future value. Commissioner, thank you for your time today. Your perspective on specific thing was particularly insightful. I won't take any more of your valuable time. I'll follow up with those documents we discussed by end of day tomorrow.
The client exit. Ms. Rodriguez, this has been an extremely productive meeting. I have clear direction on XYZ. I'm going to get started on these action items immediately to meet our timeline. I'll send you a summary by 5 p.m. today, and we can schedule our next check-in once you've reviewed it.
What distinguishes these exits is what's called asymmetric politeness. You use more honorifics, more specific appreciation, and clearer next steps that demonstrate you value their time and authority.
So, our 3 key takeaways. First, mindset shift. Polite excuses are social protocols, not deceptions. Second, 3 pillars alignment. Verbal, vocal, visual must work together. Third, preparation. Know your categories. Practice the 7-second sequence.
This isn't about becoming slick or manipulative. It's about what communication scholars call interactional competence, having the tools to honor both your time and your connections, to end conversations with the same intentionality with which you begin them.
We'd love to hear your exit successes or disasters. Tag us at Chatting in English Pod. Share your favorite exit lines or trickiest scenarios.
Next week, we're tackling a related essential skill, the fine art of the casual check-in, how to maintain connections without being needy. Because what happens after the exit matters just as much.
Until then, remember, a graceful exit isn't an ending. It's the period at the end of one sentence and the capital letter beginning the next in your ongoing relationship story.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, share it with your friends. And stay tuned for more.
Keep chatting, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a nice day. Goodbye.